direction of Democratic Governor Newsom.
Next up, let's talk club news.
On Tuesday, girls volleyball faced off against Dublin.
Tomorrow, wear your favorite jersey. On Wednesday,
Schedule for Wednesday, August 25th has been changed to be virtual.
Hello, my name is Sawyer Brisson, and welcome back to your national news show, and also welcome back from your spring break.
And I'm Ty Martin. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's kick things off like most weeks with some pop culture news.
This year's Oscars had a very weird twist. This year's host, comedian Chris Rock, and he did a pretty good job handling the whole situation at the Oscars. During Chris Rock's act, he made a joke about Will Smith's wife that she didn't like so much. Will Smith appeared to be laughing at the joke until he saw his wife's reaction. After Will Smith's wife didn't like the joke, Will Smith stormed the stage and slapped Chris Rock in the face. After this happened, everybody was confused, including Chris Rock. Smith yelled and cursed at Rock after returning to his seat, demanding that Rock not speak about his wife. Later, after the incident, Smith continued to add awards to his trophy case, and he won an Oscar later that night.
The music industry's biggest awards ceremony was initially scheduled to be held on January 31st in Staples Center in Los Angeles, but had been postponed due to a rise in coronavirus cases. It was held this past Sunday night and had some unforeseen wins. Let's run through the most notable wins. Jon Bastille won Album of the Year, and Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic won Song of the Year with Leave the Door Open. And lastly, Olivia Rodrigo won her first Grammy for Best New Artist.
The NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship was last night, and Kansas came out on top. Kansas was the heavy favorite for the game, being a 1 seed while UNC was an 8 seed. Much attention last week was on Coach K's final game, where he fell to his rival UNC in their first Final Four meeting ever. He was the coach for the Duke program for 42 years, leading the team to 5 national championships in his career.
Over the weekend, Logan Paul had his WWE debut. Dressed in black and yellow spandex pants and a matching leather motocross jacket, Logan Paul stepped into the ring with an extremely rare Pokemon card hanging from a chain around his neck valued at $6 million. Logan Paul said in an interview with TMZ Sports, quote, "To be honest, I don't think it's up to me, I think it's up to the fans. I think it's up to the fans to see if they agree with me thinking I'm good," end quote. Paul squared off in a tag team match against father-son duo The Mysterios. Paul entered the arena backed by the Logan Paul song Heart Code in a psychedelic light show and was greeted with mixed responses from this audience at AT&T Stadium. Now let's get into some real news. Airlines canceled hundreds of weekend flights and thousands more were delayed as thunderstorms in Florida slowed traffic in one of the country's top-level destinations during spring break. More than 6,000 U.S. flights were delayed and 1,930 were canceled on Saturday, according to flight tracking site FlightAware. Disruptions continue on Sunday with nearly 1,540 canceled and more than twice the number of delays. Through Monday, schedules appeared to stabilize.
Sacramento police are on the search for multiple shooters who opened fire downtown early Sunday morning, killing 6 people and leaving at least 12 injured. Quote, "Investigators are working to identify those responsible for this horrific act. We know that a large fight took place just prior to the shootings, and we have confirmed that there have been multiple shooters," end quote, Sacramento Police Chief Catherine Lester said.
Police on Thursday found the bodies of 5 aborted babies in the Washington, D.C. apartment of Lauren Handy, 28, one of 9 pro-life activists arrested this week for entering an abortion facility in 2020 in violation of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, a local news anchor on WUSA TV called the story bizarre and chilling, while Handy's neighbors told NBC News that it was, quote, "really messed up," end quote, and horrifying that there were fetuses in someone's house.
President Biden on Monday called for a war crimes trial against Russian President Vladimir Putin and said that he'd seek more sanctions after reported atrocities in Ukraine. Biden's comments to reporters came after Ukraine President Zelensky visited Bucha, one of the towns surrounding Kyiv, where Ukrainian officials say the bodies of civilians have been found.
Part of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's hearing was yesterday. It is important to note how her trial went. Earlier last week, Judge Jackson's trial began, and the questions that were prompted to her were called, quote, "bassless and vile," end quote, by Senator Durbin. The questions continued to get more strange as Senator Ted Cruz asked Judge Jackson if she thought babies are racist, while others asked her what she thought the definition of a woman is. The decision will be made later today and will continue to fill you in next week.
Let's end with some COVID news. There are some new symptoms with COVID: loss of appetite, diarrhea, and shortness of breath. In the UK, with 4.9 million people, about 1 in 13 of us are testing positive for the virus. Of course, this is not in the U.S., but experts may be heading our way soon. In Ohio, we are seeing about 500 new cases a day, which is a nice change of pace from the 5,000 we were seeing just 2 months ago. On that note, let's throw it back to Sawyer and Ty.
Well, that's all we have for you today, Pioneers. For the Juice, I'm Sawyer Brisson.
And I'm Ty Martin. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.